What's good, y'all? Kabeh here again. Another week. We made it to another week. And today I'm breaking down the sample that I made a couple days ago with my boy Trev again.
Yo.
I think the last video we recorded actually is like the most viewed video.
That's what I do, bro.
I think it is, or like the second most video.
I'm joking. Yeah, no. That was the runaway one.
Yeah, that was so good. I actually send out a sample like almost every day. It was one of my favorite samples.
Yeah, that one was fun.
Yeah, and we made this a couple days ago, and I thought I would break this down. So this is really good. Trev did the vocals again and did the piano, and we're gonna break everything down. So as I always do here, let's first listen to the full thing, then we're gonna come back and see how we made this. So let's hear the sample. So yeah, this is, I think this is way simpler than that first one, like that runaway.
Yeah.
One. This is way simpler, but I've been making more simple stuff nowadays, so I think this fits. So let's see how Trev made the first idea that he started, and yeah, let's see how he made it.
I think the same idea for the runaway sample. We just did piano and vocals, and that's what we started with. So for this one, I just did a simple progression, just 3 chords, and then in the last 8 bars of the progression, I took it down and I just kind of like followed them to follow the vocals that I was doing. So I'll play the progression. Super simple.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I changed it a little.
Where do you find those chords?
So with these chords, I was kind of like, I was doing like kind of what, and I was just doing simple like, dun, dun, dun. Like the progression we've always heard, like all the Dirk songs and just any Pain song. It's a really good progression and it's super catchy, but I kind of just delayed this one.
Yeah.
And I use this a lot. Like this is kind of like the progression that I like to use, the root note, and then up and then down. I love you
Yeah.
doing that. I like doing that with the bass line. So, and then with these ones in my head, I just heard it. I just heard what it,
Yeah.
because I knew what I wanted to say. Um, I was like freestyling the vocals, and I knew it. And sometimes you can just hear the everything. You can hear the entire sample in your head before it's done. So that's pretty much
Yeah.
how it went with this. Um, after listening to the progression for a while, I just added these vocal harmonies. So the first thing I did was this. So it was like a lot of trial and error. Um, Actually, before I do this, I'm gonna turn off the reverb bus just so you can hear it better. So it's a bass one, and
Yeah.
each vocal there's a left and a right, just to make it, because I'm only one person. So to make a choir, you need to just make it panned in stereo and just do a bunch of takes.
Yeah.
So I have a bass, and then I have a high one, and then I added these ones.
You changed the formats on this one, didn't you?
Um,
The last one.
I
Or did you keep
probably
just the same? No, you don't
oh,
even
that's
got like
yeah, that's
other
me.
boy.
No, I don't have alter, but that's me. I think.
It sounds
Did I
different. How did you? It doesn't sound like you.
Let me see. Don't take. I took off the auto tune. No, that's me. All right, that's just not my solid. That's not my area that I sing in. I can't sing baritone or tenor or whatever. I don't even know what it's called. I can't sing this. I'm best in like like high stuff. I think actually
Yeah.
I did one altar boy. I think though, unless it's off. I had it on
It
and I
just
turned it off.
sounded different. Like you did something to make it sound different. Whenever I see like at one point I was getting a bunch of videos like on TikTok of people making choirs
Yeah,
exactly like this, just recording a bunch of takes, and they will like sing like with shutting out their nose type shit to like
yeah.
change how their voice sounds. I don't know if you did some shit like that.
I did like um I kind of sang it a weird way. So like I would
Yeah.
like when I sing, I usually just sing like regular like ooh, but in certain ones I would do just like weird things like shape, because your voice is just a synthesizer too, so you can just open your mouth and sing the note the
Yeah.
same way,
Yeah.
and it'll change the sound, the format completely. So yeah, I just kept adding them. I don't know where the lead vocal. I think this might be the lead. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can hear a lot of them. There's one like main melody, and then the other ones are just notes to back it up. So like
Yeah.
all together, they make it a melody. But they're all different melodies together, so it's kind of cool. And then so after those I did certain voices, certain ones like the way to sing it. I did lyrics. I can send you the lyrics and you can put them on the screen if you want. But
Yeah.
so this is that.
I feel it, you can't control. God's in my hands today. I feel it, you can't control. There's a time and a place, but I spend my time alone.
You can kind of hear the weird one. I'll try and find it. I just sang it weird. And the best thing about harmonies and layering is you can mess up and sound so bad, but all together it sounds so good. It's so weird.
Yeah, if you listen to the harmonies like alone,
Yeah.
it sounds
It's
strange,
There's a
but all
time
of
and
them
a
together.
place, but I spend.
yeah, exactly.
There's a time and a place, but I spend all my time alone.
Like I didn't even say the same words here.
Yeah.
There's a time and a place, but I spend.
Still spend my time, and then I
Yeah.
don't even say but there. So yeah, and then so that's that. Yeah, so I had the harmony, I had the lyric part, and then for the first one, it was just a similar harmony, and it's just a different melody. And that's that. Yeah, for harmonies, you don't need a lot of effects on your vocals, and honestly, I feel like I still kind of overdid it just with the amount of effects I did. But yeah, so for harmonies, you're gonna do like um, one take, and then you're gonna do two takes. You're gonna pan one to the left and one to the right, not all the way, about like 50, 60, 75%. And that just
Yeah.
takes the little samples, each individual bit. Um, the off is just, it just gives it such a really nice sound. Um, and do that for each layer that you do. Um,
For
and
effects, you just have like waves, the waves tune, EQ, a
EQ,
compressor, and some
compressor,
reverb.
stock, everything's stock except for you can use stock pitch tuner and you can use a stock reverb.
Yeah, the tuner on FL is it's not bad.
Pitcher, yeah, I used it for,
Yeah.
it's $50, and everybody knows like the hacks to get around.
Yeah.
Like you just use the demo version, bounce it, and then use the demo version, bounce it, and then just reload it. That's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
So and then so I have all my takes, and then I just put them into I think I did like a EQ, little EQ, just it sounded a little bit of a treble boost. It looks like it's small, but it's 4, and that's like kind of a
Yeah,
lot.
you have it on
A
30
30,
dB though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Here, I'll do this. So that's that. But yeah, and then all those together. So I have them here. So this is the main thing that keeps the clarity and the treble. So you're gonna want to bus to the master and also bus to the reverb and the effects. So that gets the dry vocal and the affected vocals. And
Yeah.
with that, you get it sounds so good. These are the effects I have.
You're sending parallel signals. One with just
Exactly.
the dry with just like EQ, compression and shit. Another one with like a bunch of effects.
Exactly. So I have the chorus,
Yeah.
a little bit more compression. The ratio's high, the threshold's down, but I don't have any gain. You can keep the attack. Attack is fine at 15. 10 is good. Release is kind of short here, but you can go to like 800.
Yeah.
EQ, not much. 2 dB boost in the high mid. Reverb mix is high, but that's also because I have a dry version as well.
Yeah.
So it sounds fine. And then stereo, just to make it even more wide, I just put a little bit of a delay between the two channels. That's really it.
I mean, how long it took for it to record the vocals? Because it's a simple simple piano ballad type thing, but like
Yeah.
the vocals probably took a while.
Honestly, the vocals were the longest part. I had a tough time kind of figuring out which ones I want to do. As you can see, I did a lot of takes. These are all my
Damn.
audio files, and I only have.
There's
14.
more than 100 probably.
Yeah, maybe.
A lot more than 100.
It looks like a lot, but it's really just small takes. It's
But it it is a lot too.
a lot of them are just me going like this, and then restarting. So they're just
Yeah,
1 second, not even a second. It's just, but
yeah.
it probably took me like 20 minutes to figure out where. It probably took me like 5 minutes, 10 minutes to figure out where I was going to go with the vocals, and then recording it probably 25, half hour, just to
That's
make it
good.
sound perfect. I wanted it to
Yeah,
sound the way I want it. So
that's good. That's good. That's good timing. I think that's fast, actually.
this is my first time doing like a choir effect. I've done takes in melodies, but I've never really done, and I could have done more. This isn't a lot for a choir.
Yeah.
This really isn't a lot, but yeah, super simple.
So yeah,
Super
that's the idea Trev what Trev said. Now I'm gonna break down my part.
Yeah.
So how did I do this? Trev text me the original idea and shit. As he always texts me a bunch of ideas that he makes and shit. And I liked it. I liked it right away. I asked him to send me stems so I could work on it. So I pulled up those stems. The first thing that I do when I'm working with another person, when I'm doing like working on a starter, whatever, I usually mess around with the original idea. So, which BPM was the original one?
140.
I brought it down 3 and I brought it down 4 semitones. So it's just a little slower and a little lower. So this is how it sounds right now. So just a little lower, just a little slower, but the whole thing is still in there. It's the vocals and the piano, the same thing that Trav did. And I really liked what he had, so I wanted to just skip like the first part at least, exactly what he did. And this is something that I talk about basically every week on these videos. Is whenever I'm doing these like these samples, these compositions, I'm thinking about it on a song structure way. So when I heard his thing, I really liked how it finished, like those chords going down, and I thought that would be a good way, like a good moment on a song, like right before a verse or right before a hook. So I started working on those, and then as y'all can see, my shit starts right at this like transition. So this is how it sounds. And this transition, I started with this organ lead. That same movement going down. I was just like flipping through presets on Analog Lab, and I found this, then I laid this down. Then I went to Big Tree from Arturia, and I laid these chords down. And this last chord is different from Trav, so I just removed his part and I added mine. So this last chord I changed that I think it fits best with the transition. So I had laid down that organ lead. In this organ, we just have a Procure tree cutting out the lows, a wider Sally 2A, doing a little bit of compression and some reverb. This is like a church. I think any organ plugin probably have a preset like this one. It's just a church organ. So we had this organ with this lead. And I talk about pacing a lot too and making decisions that benefit the song. And I talked about this also in another video about rate of information, how much information you put at a certain time. So I played I played around with that concept a lot here. So we begin just with the piano ballad, just the vocals and the piano. Then in this transition, it knocks with the organ alongside the piano with that lead and especially the bass. We had no bass until this point, so when it hits, it's something new and it's refreshing. So this is how the bass sounds. And this is like my go-to bass sound is the Rickenbacker bass from Contact. And I love my basses. I love to really like spend time with them. So I like making them sound like fat and full. So I just play it around with this pattern. It just follows the chords. And I added this Nami slide thing. I think he took this from one of Dua Lipa's stems, to be honest, because
I've heard that.
I also did that
Yeah, I've
years
heard that.
ago.
And
This is
I've
from Don't
used
Start
that.
Now. I'm pretty sure this is from Don't Start Now because I did this exact same thing like I think a year and a half ago when that song came out. I did it this exact same thing. Well, yeah, I just used it here to, build up that transition. So this is the transition just with the organs and the bass. We have this like epic feeling. So this is like that big moment on the song, or like the transition for the hook or the verse, like this big thing and shit. So then we arrive at what will be the verse of the song. So I just copied over Trev's piano and I added reels to it, I'm pretty sure, with a Pro Q3 cutting the lows and a wider, so it gives this lo-fi feel. I didn't do this on purpose. Um I didn't pay for reels, so I just have the free version. And what I do is that I run it and export it, and the demo version, like after some time it mutes for a couple
Yeah.
of seconds. So sometimes when I render, a couple moments doesn't render, and I usually fix it, like I render it again and shit. So but I like the way it sounded here because it feels different, because the first thing that you hear when we arrive at the verse is the Rhodes, and then the piano comes in to give some more body to it. But the first thing that you hear is the Rhodes, which is again a new element on the song. So extracting this again, I just copied Trev's piano, added reels to it. And this progression is this progression. It's the same thing, just repeated here. And I pulled up the Stay 73 from Arteria and just played this, like this big thing. And I liked how it sounded, so I just rendered it out, and this is how the road sound. These are just the same chords repeating itself, voice leading them in different ways. Let me see if I have the MIDI here. I probably do. Stay 73. So this is the chords. The chords, they don't extend because I'm using my pedal to make them extend, but you see how the chords repeat itself, but every time it sounds a little bit different because I'm voice leading it in different ways and doing little bits of freestyles. And the way I voice lead it makes makes it to create a melody um, on the progression, which is really cool, and I do that a lot. So we have the road sound, which is a new sound on the song, the piano, which gives body to the roads. We have the bass that we used before. It just continues here and changes the progression, obviously. And again, I just play this. Sometimes I did this octave jump that I do a lot. Sometimes I didn't, but I just play the bass, the same sound, the same plugging, everything. And I pulled up this vocal thing. The way I mix this, I threw in a doubler. I do this a lot, this little trick. I pulled up the doubler 4 from Waves, which gives you 4 voicings. I throw 2 of them down an octave, so it sounds heavier. When you put those vocals down, and make it sound like there's more vocals
Yeah,
there. And it
those are really
actually,
nice.
yeah, I do that a lot. I do that on guitars too. Um, I don't know, to give the guitar more body. And the actual mixing on those, Pro Q3, Tau chorus. This is like my favorite chorus, and it's a free chorus. I threw in the King's microphone, but I didn't use. It's disabled. Shaper Box 2, doing the pen animation like I always do. Valhalla Delay and Vintage Verb and Shaper Box doing some side chain. The mix is on 40. I don't want it to be super hard, but I want it to be able to feel it. So we have these vocals, and I pull up also Trev's vocals from the first thing. I throw them in here too. They sound a little bit more lo-fi because of the King's microphone. I love this plugin. I use this all the time. It just gives it like a lo-fi feeling to it. I threw in the utility plugin from Ableton, and I swapped the left and right, so it sounds a little bit different and wider. Putting up the sides, mid-side matrix. I'm pulling down the mids. I don't want it to be um competing with the Rhodes and the piano, and I threw the sides up. H delay is like my favorite delay right now. I've been using this a lot. Um, and Valhalla Vintage Verb, like my favorite reverb. So this is how it sounds. I think it sounds really good. Those 2 vocals on top of each other. Then I copied this vocal, threw it down an octave, up an octave actually, and utility again, and I swapped the left and right so it doesn't compete with space with the left and right of the other take. And this is basically it. I didn't do anything else. Then I just didn't repeat Trev's vocal on the second part. And I just added some textures. These are from Nami.
Nami's so
To give it more of a to give it more of a lo-fi feel. And this is the entire sample. This is the entire thing. Yeah, I think we're done here. I want to say anything?
It's super simple.
Yeah, I've been doing like a lot of simple stuff nowadays. It's been a minute since I've done like those.
Yeah, you know what I
A
really
lot of
liked?
switch ups, that shit.
What I really liked about yours is in the roads, you played the chords, and then as like a texture accent thing, you played the same chord an octave higher. I loved that so much,
Yeah.
bro. That's so pretty. I've been doing
That's the
that. I
cheat
love
code
that.
on the roads.
It's just
That's the
such a
cheat code
live
on the
thing.
road.
It's like you have a
Yeah.
player. It's like you have a professional player just in your studio, and you're just. I love
Yeah.
it.
A lot of these melodies are just the same chords playing in a higher octave.
Yeah. That's so fun.
Yeah. Like there's, I think it's right here. I don't know. I don't remember. But like this, most of those melody things are just the same chords playing in different octaves.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is basically the sample. I hope this was insightful in any way. I really like to see Trev's process on doing vocals, and I'm gonna copy what he does. And this is it. Follow me on Instagram. Follow Trev on Instagram. Purchase my kit on Outofideas. Trev has a vocal kit coming soon. That has been coming. It's been.
You yell at me every day.
Yeah, Trev has a vocal kit coming soon with a bunch of things like these, with his vocals, with a bunch of vocal loops and a bunch of vocal stuff.
For sure.
And follow him on Instagram and like and comment and subscribe and everything. And I'll see y'all again next week. Thank you.
All right, love you.